legends of wrestling. One of the biggest events of the year, 10,000 fans in attendance as Ken Anderson takes on David Arquette.
Hey, Fernando.
Hey, David. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Man, you cannot kill David Arquette.
You can. But don't try.
You know, when I first was getting to know you more through my friend Anton, by the way, and
Cool.
Anton told me you're a pro wrestler, I was like, yeah, no, he's not a pro wrestler, dude. That takes so much. It beats the life out of you to be a pro wrestler.
Yeah, it sure does. It's really painful. It really takes a ton of work. But I hope I've changed your mind now.
Well, according to Wrestler Illustrated, you're top 500.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was pretty much one of the greatest, aspects of this whole journey to be sort of recognized by Pro Wrestling Illustrated, which is such a long-standing positive voice in wrestling. It was really kind of great, and to be accompanied by some of my favorite wrestlers, Yeah, I did feel bad because I took the place of someone who, is doing this as a career, and it's would be so important to them. But hopefully they'll get on this year, so that it was just a flash in the pan.
You went to, no one's done what you've done, I believe. I mean, you trained in Mexico. You've been in so many different variety of fights and opponents you've had. I mean, it's insane what you've done.
Thank you. Yeah, it was crazy journey. The directors, David Darg and James Price, really wanted to start from the bottom of like backyard wrestling. Because when I won in 2000, backyard wrestling was just a little internet kind of video thing. But it had increased, and a lot of the people that are wrestling now grew up in their first matches were in the backyard of someone's house. You know what I mean? So now it sort of took on this different importance. So we wanted to do a backyard wrestling match, and then Tijuana was a whole surprise in that I got to wrestle with, in an 8-man lucha match, which was really my first match back. And then championship wrestling from Hollywood with RJ City. It all just sort of led, and then doing the whole independent circle, it all just led to learn. It was all a learning process, and just developing. You learn everything every time you go in the ring. You learn how to protect yourself more. You learn how to slow down. You learn how to stick to the plan, and all these things you have to kind of experience for it to click.
Your film has everything in it. It's family. Your dogs are in it. You get hurt. You get beat up. You're not in shape. You get in shape. You're at the top. You're at the bottom. This film has everything in it. I really loved it, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much, Fernando. It was a real journey. It captured my life at a point where, a lot of things were were falling apart at the beginning, but then coming together. Years of therapy, years of sort of battling addiction, years of self-abuse, and beating myself up. So ultimately what I learned was you have to love yourself. I mean, it's a kind of a cliche, but it's super important. You have to find out a way to love yourself and stop beating yourself up. We all tell ourselves these things that aren't true. Like, I always had a hard time reading as a kid, so I'd grown up telling myself that I was stupid, and I'm no longer doing that. I know I'm not stupid, and whenever I go down a rabbit hole like that, I can completely fill it in with positive affirmations, or just, it's like you can reprogram your brain to have neurotransmitters that are stronger than the old one that used to tell me that I wasn't smart enough. So I can replug that. I plug it in with that I love myself, and then it just helps you kind of get through it and sort of not get caught up in the self-destructive behavior.
I love how Ric Flair's in it.
Yeah. Woo.
That's just so cool, man. He's just a man, and to get the blessing from Hulk Hogan and all the indie fans who kind of were like didn't like you, and then now they respect you because you went through the ringer. I mean,
yeah, that's what they got upset with me before about, and I understand it now that I hadn't paid my dues, and that you know, and then going and paying your dues and really experiencing what they like, just a fraction of what they go through, really gave me so much more respect for wrestling and for the business and for just what the families have to go through. I understand now how sort of precious and honorable the sport is.
you know what I wish? I wish you could wrestle Keanu Reeves, Leonardo DiCaprio, Will Smith, you know, any of those guys from like that cover of the magazine to like, you would ruin any of them.
That's what I've been telling a lot of people. It's like you see these, you know, these action stars and all these, like I was always like, wait, so they're mad at me because I'm just some punk actor kid? But it's like, you never know, like the biggest action stars in the world might not be the toughest or the craziest. So yeah,
that's the title of your second film. David Arquette is the toughest.
And then I beat up all those guys.
You beat them all up.
That's funny.
All right, bro. Listen, so awesome to talk to you. I highly respect you, and it's such a dope film to watch. I'm actually going to make my girlfriend watch it with me again because it's a lot of learning about you as well when you watch it. You know.
Thanks, Fernando.
It gets deep inside. Again, my buddy Anton says hi. And
oh yeah, say hi for me. I love that kid.
Thank you much, man. It's you know what? You're gonna win 22 awards on this thing. You and Christina.
Thank you.
All right, man.
It.
Take care. Thanks for being on FabTV.